My name is Joe, and this is my review for the DualSense controller in Astro's Playroom, a game which comes preloaded onto every PS5 with the purpose of showing off the hardware of the PS5 and its controller. I categorize the implementation of the DualSense for every review I do in 3 categories: great, okay, and trash if it really sucks. It's probably no surprise that this game easily gets a great rating from me. The first area I want to highlight is the use of haptic feedback paired with the speaker on the controller. Everything you do in the game produces a response from the controller, and I mean everything. Every step produces a sound effect and haptic feedback to match, and that changes depending on what surface you're walking on. Sharp haptic response and a metallic click when walking on metal, and a gravelly feeling and an accompanying sound when walking on sand. And the haptic response is localized enough so that when the avatar's left foot touches the ground, the haptic response comes from the left side of the controller, and same for the right side. Anything and everything you interact with, whether it be collecting a coin, punching an enemy, whatever it is, produces its own haptic and sound response. These are not distracting, but instead offer further immersion into the Astro's Playroom world. The adaptive triggers were not neglected in this game either. There are sequences when you need to use a bow and arrow or a machine gun. When pulling the trigger, you feel a strong resistance as the bowstring draws. That is paired with a stretching sound effect and haptic response to match. When firing the machine gun, the trigger jiggles beneath your finger, imitating a recoil sensation. The game makes use of the triggers on several other occasions, but you can find out about those for yourself. I never found the effects overdone. Instead, the effect is immersive and makes me excited for future titles that use this technology. A couple other miscellaneous areas to highlight are the microphone and gyroscope use. There are several sequences when your character needs to be propelled forward with a fan. You are instructed to physically blow onto the controller. The sound is picked up by the built-in mic, and the character is propelled forward in proportion to how long or strong your breath was. It's very cool. Perhaps the next generation will have a built-in breathalyzer and affect the sobriety of your character's motor skills to match the results. Just an idea. The gyroscope was also used on several occasions when the character was in a spaceship and had to propel upwards. You tilted the controller left or right depending on what direction you needed to fly. A fun implementation, but nothing to write home about. As this game was built to show off the DualSense controller, there's way more I could talk about. However, I want to keep this concise, so I'll say this in conclusion. The use of the DualSense in Astro's Playroom is great, and I recommend everyone to play it as soon as you can get your hands on the PS5, whether that be 2021 or 2031, whenever it's available. Definitely try it. The game is preloaded and obviously free of charge, so there's no harm in it. Even for people like me who prefer survival horror games and RPGs, this game was a blast to play, largely because of the controller. That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.